What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda. After Liverpool move one step closer and 3 points closer to league title number 20, we know that a victory against Spurs next weekend or a Crystal Palace victory over Arsenal midweek will see Liverpool crowned Premier League champions. Today's result also relegated Leicester, so commiserations to any Leicester City fans watching. If you haven't joined us for a player ratings video before, this is what you can expect over the next few minutes. I'm going to go through the referee, the players, the substitutes, and of course our manager, giving them all a score out of 10. If you'd like to play along in the comment section, you know what to do. You're going to see two scores as always. The upper right hand corner is the Anfield Agenda viewer average score that people did contribute their ratings in our match reaction. The big square in the centre is mine. And of course, with it being a match day, ladies and gents, we simply wouldn't be here without the support of our incredible sponsors, Manscaped. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra all-in-one men's grooming kit really is my go-to and the one-stop shop. You get everything you see on screen there, including the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, which is their premium product, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Manscaped's 2 liquid formulations, the Shed travel bag and the boxer briefs are also their free gift to you as part of this set. The Lawnmower 5.0 features Manscaped's skin-safe technology guarding your family jewel against any grooming mishaps. It has the brightest ever LED spotlight, is waterproof, and unlike me, lasts for an entire 90 minutes. Use the code on the screen, Anfield20, at checkout, or scan the QR code in the bottom right hand corner to get your 20% off and free shipping on anything on manscaped.com. Right, let's start off with the referee. And I'm not just saying this because, well, I'm not a fan of Stuart Atwell. I didn't think he dealt with that game very well today. And look, it didn't cost us anything, but there were some decisions that really, well, left me scratching my head. Giving frees out for Leicester City players colliding with their own goalkeeper is a baffling one. Harvey Elliott getting fouled right in front of him and him do nothing about it, another baffling one. But it is Stuart Atwell, and well, most Liverpool fans wouldn't have the kindest of words to say about him. So my score for the referee today was a 5, and the Anfield Agenda audience feeling similarly with an average score there of 5.4. Next up, Alisson Becker. This was so difficult to give a score because there wasn't a single shot on target. He had very little to do. So what I've done is I've based it off him being just an absolute specimen of a human being and given him a score out of 7. Now, I don't know what else to say. Give him a 7 because he kept a clean sheet. Didn't have anything to do, but that beard deserves a 7 all on its own. So, you know. Conor Bradley. I'm a huge advocate for Conor Bradley, but today that was one of the poorer performances I've seen from Conor Bradley in the Liverpool shirt. I thought he was playing himself into trouble. His decision making was wrong on occasion, trying to let balls go out when they weren't going to and then turned over possession. He was getting turned too easily. Just a lot to learn from that performance today for Conor Bradley. I do think he'll be an excellent player for the club and I love him to bits, but I'm always honest with you guys on my assessment of the performance, and today I thought he was awful, so I'm going to give a 5 to Conor Bradley. I don't know where on earth the audience got the 6.5 from. I think they were just feeling confident, but watch the game back and there wasn't too much to be happy about in his defending. Getting forward, I also thought that he could have shot on a couple of occasions and tried to square it, but reiterate, big fan of Conor Bradley, big future ahead of him. I just didn't think that was a good performance. Ibrahima Konate, again, himself and Verge were comfortable enough today. He does occasionally seem a little bit clumsy in possession. And much like Trent, I'd like to know what his future has in store as well. But part of a defence that kept a clean sheet, and that has to be acknowledged. So because they had so little to do, I gave him a score of 6, and the Anfield Agenda audience went for a 6.5. You know, we are one of the most dominant teams aerially, though, and himself and Virgil, I mean, there's not much aerially that gets past either of them. And speaking of Virgil, well, our captain's up next. New contract penned, 2 more years minimum at the club, and thank you for that, Virgil. We all greatly appreciate it. Yeah, again, not much for him to do today, really. Dominant aerially as always, and kept a clean sheet. So with that, giving him a 6.5, and the audience as well, similar score there of a 6.9. I want to reiterate as well that I don't know the Anfield Agenda audience's scores as we go through these. I find them out in real time. So Costas, Look, I think Costas deserved his start today again. I thought he was better than Robbo last week. I thought he was unlucky to be taken off and Robbo didn't replace him and do too much. Today, again, no issues with the way that he played. I thought we were comfortable. Sometimes wanted him to get his head up before the crossing, but other was always an option, always an underlapping or an overlapping run and full of energy. So I'm giving him a 6.5 and the audience have gone for a 6.8. Let me know, though. Do you think that he is going to be the left back that's moved on this summer? Andy Robertson has 1 year to go in his Liverpool deal, so I'm kind of thinking that, you know, Robbo's there as the steady old reliable player to learn or to teach and to battle with whoever the new left back is, whether it's Kirkhead or somebody else. Right, Gravenberch. Mr. Consistency, as always, does what he needs to do, which is mop up in the middle of the park, break the line where necessary. And I thought our midfield did very well today. You know, we lacked a lot of creativity when we got to the final third, but I thought we won the midfield battle comfortably. So I'm going to give him a 7. And the Anfield Agenda audience thinking similarly there with a score of 7-point run for Ryan. We do need some increased competition for him, of course, for next season. Alexis McAllister. So Trent won the Anfield Agenda Man of the Match vote, which is understandable, scoring the winner and all. But for me, I thought Alexis was probably our best player out there over the course of the full 90. So I thought it was a really good performance, full of guile and battling qualities. And look, I just love watching him. So for me, I'm giving him an 8. And the Anfield Agenda audience a little bit lower, but still a high score of 7.6. Let us know in the comment section what you think there about Alexa's performance. And again, it's great to hear that his family saying he settled in Liverpool and those advances of Real Madrid, well, there's nothing to them at this moment in time. Now we move on to Dominic Soboslai. And this was one that split opinion in the chat as well. I thought that Dom had a lot of work rate as always, but not as much creativity, not as much class about his performance that I'd have wanted. And I thought of the three midfielders, in my opinion, he was the weaker of the three of them. Just my thoughts on it, though. Well, I'm just about to find out if the audience agree with me or not. So for me, I've given him a score of 6, and the audience have gone a little bit higher with a score there of 6.6. But again, I found myself just wanting a little bit more from Dominic Soboslai in that performance. Moving on now to Mo, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You know, I want him to stay. He's staying. It's great. His season's been incredible. But he has fallen off. Let's be honest about this over the last few weeks. And today, he missed some chances that he should have been gobbling up and scoring. And I always give my assessments honestly. And I don't use emotion. So, well, I do, but I don't use emotion from the past. So for this one, I'm giving him a 6. I didn't think he was very good at all, in all honesty. And wanted him to score. You know, I don't think he scored since he signed his new deal. And yes, he's had assists and he's chasing records. But, you know, that was a weak Leicester City team and he should have been licking his lips there to get some goal-mouth action. Had a couple of shots that were blocked. Hit the post in the first half, although I think he would have been offside for it. And I just wanted a little bit more because we know what heights he's capable of. So 6 for me and a 6.6 for the audience. Cody Gakpo. It was a really poor performance from Cody. Very easy to read, always cutting inside into his right foot. Lots of deep crosses to the far post. The 1 or 2 times he did actually take his man on, he managed to get to the byline and put in a ball, but just never looked like he was going to create anything. And in all honesty, he doesn't look fully fit. We know he's better than what we're seeing from him. So the performance score I'm going to give him is based purely off today. And no surprise to see him substituted and Diaz pushed across to the left. So for me, I thought Cody had a stinker and I've given him a 4. The audience going a bit higher there with a 5.8. And again, just underwhelming. But I do think coming back from an injury is a big part of this. I'm certainly not a Cody Gakpo hater by any stretch. Luis Diaz. I say this time and time again. I know we have to force him through the middle because Arne Slot doesn't want to pick Chiesa and Diogo Jota and Darwin Núñez just aren't cutting it. But we lose a lot. I would rather us almost throw Gakpo central because Diaz on the left just gives us a different dimension and we look far more dangerous. And when he was pushed across there, when Diogo was brought on, I thought we looked way more likely to find a breakthrough. So for me, today, Diaz, a 6.5. But again, I want him playing on the left-hand side, even if it is just for the final 5 games, because he's another player whose future of the club is up in the air. The audience, by the way, with a 6.7 there for Lucho. Diogo Jota should have had a hat-trick coming off the bench and was missing headers that he should be gobbling up. 4 yards out, 6 yards out, and a couple of other missed chances as well. His form is just falling off a cliff, and I don't recognise this Diogo Jota because he is a predator. He is a fox in the box usually, and he was another player now who I think Liverpool have to have a long, hard, honest conversation about in the summer because he's just not delivering it anymore. So for me, a 5.5 for him, and the audience feeling very similar with a 5.4 average. Again, let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree with that one. Harvey Elliott made a difference when he came on, right? When him and Trent came on, we looked way better, and both of them contributed to that. Elliott, as always, finds the pockets of space, makes Mo look a little bit more dangerous, makes us move more quickly, and looks like we can create and find those pockets between the lines. So hopefully Arne stops the stubbornness and starts to introduce them quicker in games, especially when we look like we're not on it, like we weren't in that first hour. So for me, Elliott did very well when he came on. I've given him a 7. The Anfield Agenda audience have gone for a 6.7. But the big question, I think, is when is Arne Slot going to start trusting him? And why on earth was Federico Chiesa not in the matchday squad again today? For a club that are told about the wage bill so much, to see a £7 million a year player and his wages just cast aside, it's concerning. Next up, Trent Alexander-Arnold. And there is no way to deny that the man won us that game today. And, you know, he had his comments after the game saying he doesn't speak about his future, spoke about the fact scoring the goal, winning the league means a lot. And it's all great to see, and the celebration was great to see as well. Top off, went straight over to the Liverpool fans to celebrate. But it all kind of feels a little bit shallow at times, knowing that he could very well be off. But for today, we wouldn't have won the game without him. It was a very good strike from Trent, and fair play on that one. So today for Trent, give him a score of 8.5, because without him, we don't win that game. And there is no denying we looked far better when he was on the pitch, as well as Elliott. And the audience giving him an 8.2. Curtis Jones, well, it's difficult this one. He was on right at the end, didn't really have too much to do. So I'm going to give him the bang average score that every sub that doesn't have too much of an impact gets, which is a 6. And the audience, well, you're feeling similarly there with an average for Curtis Jones of 6.1. And now our manager, Arne Slot. It has been a very weird season overall. We're about to win a league title, and we look like we're going to win it by some distance. Playing very pragmatic football, but there is something substance-wise that feels a little bit lacking. Now, is that down to Arne Slot having to change the way he really wants to play a little bit because of a lack of trust in players creating in the way he wants them to? Has he gone too much into the kind of Pep Guardiola, Manchester City, wanting that perfect pass and keep moving till you find it? But either way, I do think it just feels like we're too slow out of the blocks, and we need a bit of madness in us. I think we're at our best when we have that chaos, and there's no denying that we can certainly shore ourselves up a little bit better on occasion when we take a lead, but the slow starts have to stop, and I'm willing to wait to see what happens in the summer. And again, the man is about to win us a league title in his first year when nobody, including me, thought that was going to happen. So don't want to undermine the accomplishment by any stretch, but I would mind a little bit. I wouldn't mind a little bit more of an attacking flair. So today, that was hard work, and it shouldn't have been against a very poor Leicester team. So I'm giving Arne a 6 today for his selection and his management in the game. The Anfield Agenda audience have gone for a 6.3. And look, that is the Anfield Agenda player ratings. But before we go, a reminder, we're going to be back live tonight at 9 o'clock for a late night agenda, where we'll be talking about the game, the transfer window, what the Trent celebration meant, and lots more. Thank you once again to our sponsors, Manscaped. A reminder, you can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com by your code Anfield20. Use that at checkout or scan the QR code. We'll see you at 9 o'clock. Much love. The Reds are one win away from being Premier League champions yet again. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.